تفضل. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Praise be to Allah who has guided us onto this, and if it hadn't been for the guidance of Allah, you would not have been guided. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. Praise be to Allah who has sent down the book onto his servant devoid of any crookedness. Our notable for tonight is a household name. You know, everyone knows about this scholar. You cannot read a tafsir of a verse without being impacted by his work. He is Ismail al-Shaykh, al-Mufassir, al-Alim, Ismail ibn Umar ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir. We've all heard of this scholar, Ibn Kathir. Who is he? Where is he from? And what is his story? So he was born in the year 701 Hijri. And he was born in the southern region of Syria, in the Dara region. And his father died when he was a kid, like a little kid. And his father was a scholar. His father was a khatib and a scholar. And his older brother also was a scholar. So after his father passed away, his older brother took care of him, and he taught him a lot of things, Quran and Hadith. And one of the lessons learned here is the environment that we create in our homes for our kids and for our families is very important. So his family, his father and his brother and his family created an environment of knowledge, environment of learning, environment that is close to Quran and Hadith, and that helped him, become interested in these studies and excel. And then they moved to Damascus, and Damascus at the time was a hub for knowledge and scholars, and also Baghdad. These two cities, they have a lot of they had a lot of effects on Muslims. They had lots of scholars, lots of books authored, lots of really big impact on the Muslim Ummah. So he went there and he surrounded himself with scholars. And this is another lesson learned that if you want to excel, you have to go to the people who know. You have to go and learn from people. You have to go and be with people that you can learn from. So he was around people, giants like Ibn Taymiyyah and Al-Imam al-Dhahabi and Al-Imam al-Mazdi. These are all, big names. Ibn al-Qayyim. And Ibn Taymiyyah is one of his, biggest scholars, biggest teachers. So he learned from these people. And he became, he learned the tafsir of the Quran. And he also learned hadith. But he didn't only learn, he applied. He learned and he applied. Because that is really the purpose of learning, right? You learn so you can become better and apply. And when Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, when he was attacked by people, he was defending Ibn Taymiyyah. And he was attacked as well because he was defending Ibn Taymiyyah. But he didn't care because, he wanted to defend what is right. And he wanted to be on the right side of history and the right side of justice, because Ibn Taymiyyah was fighting people to stay close to Quran and Sunnah and stay away from innovations and bid'ah, and Ibn Kathir followed that path. So his principles in the tafsir was to stay away from the Isra'iliyat, from things that are not authentic, except what does not contradict Quran and Sunnah. And when he comes across a verse that he wants to do tafsir for it, the first step is to do tafsir with the Quran. So for example, فَتَلَقَّى آدَمُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلِمَاتٍ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ. So Adam received some words from his Lord, and he repented. What are these words? Another surah, there's another verse in another surah that tells us what these words are. These words are, رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Oh, our Lord, we have wronged ourselves. And if you do not forgive us and have mercy upon us, then we will be of those who are losers. So that's the first step, to interpret the Quran with the Quran. The second step is to interpret the Quran with hadith. So he will look for in the hadith for the interpretation of the verse. And then the third step is to interpret the Quran with aqwal al-sahaba, what the companions, radiyallahu anhum, may Allah be pleased with them, what they said in interpreting verses. So very methodical way of doing the tafsir, interpreting the Quran. He also has some books on hadith, and he also has a very famous book, Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, the beginning and the end. And he chronologically talks about the human history, from the very beginning until his time. So, very, very thorough book. And he'll say, in this year, this happened, and in this year, this happened. So, chronological kind of, narrative of what happened. He died when he was in his 70s, and he is one of the most known scholars when it comes to tafsir. You can't really read a tafsir of a verse without somehow being impacted by Ibn Kathir. And subhanallah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees acceptance for someone, you can see the effects of that. And I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted his work because his work, we're now more than 7 centuries after he died, and we're still learning from his work. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy on this scholar and to admit him into paradise. رحم الله هذا الشيخ العالم وادخله فسيح جناته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.